Hi everyone, this is Brian from Techie Time, and today we're going to do an updated instructions on how to do the electromagnet activity. As you can see in part 1 of this video, it has the instructions and kind of a 100-foot overview of what the project is like. Today, I kind of wanted to answer some of the detailed questions and give a little bit more of an in-depth walkthrough just to make sure that we're all on the same page for Monday's activity. So for the supplies you're going to need copper wire, tape, a AA battery, scissors to cut the copper wire or some sort of sharp object to cut the copper wire, and then also a metal rod or a nail. So when it comes to the kits, you should have received a metal rod. For those of you who did not receive a kit, you could use a metal rod or a nail about 6 inches in length. If you do use a nail, please cut off the ends of it or just proceed with extreme caution. We want to make sure that everyone is about as safe as possible. So the first step of this is to take the copper wire. You'll cut about 36 inches or 3 feet of copper wire. You'll cut that off into one big piece, and then you'll leave about 6 inches on each end of the nail. So you'll leave 6 inches at the start, 6 inches at the end, and then you will wind the copper wire around the metal rod. Make sure that when you do this, it's pulled tightly. So you'll wind it around as many times as you can, and then at the end, leave 6 inches and then pull it tightly. Once you do that, you will then take 2 small pieces of tape. I did about little itty bitty squares, and then secure them to each end of the battery. One warning: once you do this, this will start the experiment. So the battery and the copper wire and the nail will get a little hot. So make sure that when you're grabbing this, you grab it by the battery. If it does get too hot, you can disconnect both leads, and then it will stop the experiment, and then everything will cool down. Once you do that, I'm going to take the battery and you'll attach it, the copper wire, to each side, so the positive and negative end of the battery. The biggest thing is to make sure with this is that your copper wire is wound tightly around. Make sure your copper wire is wound tightly around the nail, and then also the connections are well taped and well secured to each end of the battery. Once you do this, you can hold it up to a paper clip and see what happens. So this is Brian from Techie Time. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to let me know.